Hello and welcome to a very special interstitial season of Experience Share. It's a Pokemon podcast starring me, Ortangaroo.
God. Oh, that's just, isn't that basically it? Or
It's just
Oranguru or something?
Yeah. AKA Tanner Greenring, and I am joined by my co-host, as always, Wimposh.
Well,
he's a Lowen.
It is Wim
Pod.
Jesus, I don't. You know what? You bested me.
AKA
I've seen
Joshua
it. Oh, Wim Pod, right?
Fielstead. Yes,
yeah.
Wim Pod. It turns into this very rad looking, like, I don't even know what they're called. Trilobite, maybe?
The steel bug, Gacillopod or something.
Yeah, it's cool. He looks cool.
Oh, it's bug water.
I'm getting so spoiled for the Alolan and Galarian regions.
I have really wanted to run one of those Gacillopods.
I call whatever game it's in. We can both have one. They look cool.
Whoever gets it first. It's Gen 7. I think it is probably Sun Moon. But yeah, this landscape has changed. A lot more Pokemon than I ever knew are in this now. We
are playing a new game. It's an interstitial season. We're going to do 2 episodes now and then one more kind of follow-up episode after ORAS, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, where we kind of check in after, those 8 weeks or so.
So we're going to actually be playing this for a good 10 to 12 weeks.
Yeah. And the game is called Pokémon Go. Yeah. I think a game many of you do play and have been playing for the last 6 years from every indication on my friend list. Because we tweeted our friend codes, our trainer IDs, our trainer codes. So if you want to add us on Pokemon Go check out our pinned tweet. And now I'm seeing all of your bug catcher profiles, and you guys have some pretty wild levels and like wild looking Pokemon. Someone
had a shiny Mewtwo and it was like green.
I know, it's like green, disgusting, but beautiful. So cool that you have a shiny Mewtwo. Everyone has a shiny something.
Yeah.
They're all shiny and everyone has the same pose, and I don't know how to describe it in a way that's not like, it's sort of this sort of like effeminate, like looking over the shoulder and like doing a little dance thing.
Oh yeah, that was exactly, that's my favorite one too. I was gonna comment on, and sorry, I don't have the names off the top of my head. The friends list has gotten, and thank you for doing this, but also the friends list has gotten rather scary and overwhelming because there's so many people in there, and I don't have enough.
Should we get the mea culpas out of the way now?
But I do want to say, whoever has the Beware or Bayware or whatever, the Stuffle evolution, and is doing that, like, it's like the showcasing, like, kind of leaning up against it, like, sort of sensually. Great combo. But yeah, everybody has that.
I can't believe someone already has that Haas.
Yeah.
I think I have like, what's the little one called?
Stuffle.
I think I have like 30 Stuffle candies, and it costs 400 to evolve it into.
Oh man, that's
Scare
like
Bear or whatever it's called.
I have a Magikarp flopping around because I want a Gyarados, which is also 400.
So gross.
And
you have to have them with you if you want to like them to find candy. Anyway, we're playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Feel free to add us. Let's get the mea culpas.
We're gonna have to just do it now. Yeah.
Because we love that you added us. Thank you for showering gifts on us. It turns out you're only allowed to open like 20 gifts a day. So yeah, I'm just opening the gifts that I can open, and if I haven't gotten to yours yet, I will. And thank you for sending it.
And also,
but I also have a hard rule that I've already broken a few times, and I apologize to those people, but I have a hard rule that I do not accept a gift unless I have one to give back.
Oh, that's what I was about to say, and I was going to say, Tanner, I hope that you have the same policy as me, which is exactly that. And if I have not had a day when I've been able to go out and get a lot of new gifts, I'm just not going to open them because, of course, I'm not going to take one of the gifts without giving a gift back.
Yeah.
We're civilized here.
So we're doing our best. We really appreciate all the gifts. We are excited to. And you know what? I wish some of you dickheads would accept some of my raid battle invitations. And this is we're going to get to the gripes later. I got one from
you today, and I clicked on it, and then the screen was blank, and I don't know what the hell.
Well,
it didn't work.
You failed somehow.
I don't think so. I think the app failed.
Anyway, that's our mea culpa. Thank you for the gifts. Please do. I like you am trying to pin all of the foreign countries.
Oh yeah, I only today. So did you already know this? I only today realized because someone else did it to me, sending something that you can pin or save the friend like the postcard gifts.
Yeah, I've been pinning all along, and I'm seeing some cool places. I'm seeing some cool landmarks, but then getting the ones from Sweden and Australia and the Netherlands and
Finland and the UK.
Yeah.
And
those are fun. Yeah. We're going to do a little map of where all the bug catchers are.
Oh, that's fun. I had one from Brazil. I'm upset I didn't know about this, but I will do that going forward.
So those are our mea culpas out of the way. We're excited about this, and we're going to be playing for quite a while. So please do play with us.
The thing that we really needed was one more Pokemon game that we can play when we're not playing the mainline Pokemon games. You know?
Yeah.
That's what was lacking.
Obsess over. Buy jewelry for.
Yeah.
Let's get into it, Josh.
All right.
The game is Pokemon Go. I started playing about 2 weeks ago, and it was the first time I had played since maybe month 1 of the original Pokemon Go craze.
Oh, you stopped sort of
very
early.
Quickly.
Okay.
And do you want my story? Do you want my history?
Yeah. Is your character a new one or the same one you resurrected?
Brand new.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Brand new. But I mean my story, Tanner Greenring's story.
Oh, yeah. I want
growth.
Tanner Greenring's
journey.
story. We never talk about our own stories on this podcast.
It was July 6th, 2016. Pokemon Go was released to the world. It started in Australia and then moved its way east, I think, west. Anyway, by the time I downloaded it and started it, someone had taken my name.
Oh my God.
I just moved on to something else.
A lot of Tanners down there in Australia. I could see that.
I guess so.
Think of it.
I guess so.
They don't have much ozone.
I loved it, obviously. We all did.
Yeah.
It was the very first version. It was much more sparse than it is now.
It was just the original 151, right? Just 150.
150. Yeah. I remember there was like some guy in Turkey said he found Mewtwo, and everyone was like, God, we all got to get to Turkey. And then Niantic was like, no, Mewtwo's not in the game yet. Stop this.
Yeah.
But anyway, I worked at a major media company at the time.
Uh-huh.
It was about a 6-mile walk from our office to my house in Brooklyn. And I started making the walk every day so that I could catch Pokemon. And it was July. It was hot.
We're going through
that right now. I think I lost a little weight. I thought it was great. So much fun.
Yeah.
I joined a Slack room at work where we were like strategizing and trying to figure like timing our lure drops.
Yeah. You had one right there as well.
It was really fun, and then I realized a bunch of people in the Slack room were cheating, like flagrantly and openly, and sort of like discussing tactics for cheating. And it disenfranchised me so much that I deleted the game and did not download it again until 2 weeks ago.
I do remember you've ranted about this, but what was the mechanism by which they were cheating?
I don't know. It was like the devs at major media company had like they'd like figured out some way to like trick spoof the GPS, you know, like to say you're somewhere else so you could be closer to a Pokestop or closer to a gym. And also like it was New York City, so like the gyms were bonkers. Like you essentially can't touch a gym in New York City because they're all just like full of high-level Pokemon immediately.
There was one by my apartment at the time in Bushwick. But now, I mean, they'd laugh me out of there. I can't even step foot in.
Up here in suburban Connecticut, you should see the gyms around my house. It's like a sea of piss. They're all yellow and chock full of my Pokemon.
Yeah, so they did have the original.
I dominate this neighborhood.
Teams, we're still in it, which are the same ones today: yellow, blue, and red.
I don't know. I don't remember what they're called. It's like Team Impulse.
I don't remember either, but I know that it's like, you know, it's Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, I think.
Yeah.
I know Zapdos was the original one. Which is funny, unless you have more to say, I'll tell my
No, that's it.
Story.
Please tell me. What's your journey?
My original team was also yellow, and it's attached to my current and always personal email address, so I resurrected. I don't know if that was uncouth. I didn't get a memo that we were supposed to make new ones.
I would have done that had I I think I signed up with an email I don't have anymore.
Could have been the company email or something.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I made mine on my personal account, so I had to resurrect my old one, which was funny, coming back into it and seeing what I had already done. So I already was at level 19 when I came in. So I had that starting point. I played for, I think I played for like 3 months, and it was similar. I think I ranted about this in the last episode, actually, where it was sort of a similar breaking point where I was like, I can't just be walking. I was at a different minor media company at the time. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm not willing to like go walk all the way to work from like Bushwick to Lower Manhattan is not necessarily a pretty fucking walk, like the whole way. Yeah. Kind of not like it. You can't even do like a straight shot to a bridge. It's like a bunch of weird routes. I tried it out, and I was like, all these young upstarts are now like getting ahead of me. They got these Dragonites. Where the hell are they getting that? These mayor cheats. But I gave up around then, and I was like, how about I just play some normal games? Lord knows it was probably fucking Skyrim. But
2016. What were we playing? Go ahead.
I was just always playing that, or Civilization. It's a perpetual. Yeah, I don't know what would I have been playing? I don't remember what came out in 2016.
I want to say like
because I did have a PlayStation whatever.
What's that game where you're sort of like a Victorian ninja? Dishonored. I think Dishonored was 2016.
Bobby played that. I didn't do that, weirdly.
Final Fantasy 15. Played a lot of that. Witcher 3.
Yeah, Witcher. Okay, there we go. That's what we were both playing. It was probably Witcher 3 is what came out, and then I was like, okay, I'm good. I'm good on the Pokemon stuff. But I do remember a couple of like iconic moments, which I haven't gotten to witness yet, partially because I'm scared of the gym scene now, but also because I don't know like how popular this game is in my neighborhood. But going up and like going to a gym, and then there's just like dozens of people all hanging out right by like what was a fucking like a therapist office, like was somehow a gym right by me, and going there to try to take it over was fun. And then the best time was like Bobby played too, and we were both going to like pick up breakfast sandwiches at this place also in Bushwick, a few blocks away from us. And we're walking down a street, and then some guy just comes like, he must be able to tell that we're on Pokemon Go too, and he comes careening past us. He's like, there's a Bulbasaur over there. And then, like, of course, we followed him, and we are also catching that Bulbasaur. And I don't know if that moment still happens anymore, but that moment when it originally came out in 2016 is like the only other time that I felt something anywhere similar to when I first started playing the games in general, like Red and Blue, where it was like this phenomenon where everyone seemingly is unified in this pursuit, and they're totally like, their imagination is running wild, especially in this case because they're so in the real world. So it was very cool.
I'm so jealous of the people who got to maintain that and have been maintaining it, like our friend David Sims since 2016. But a quick diversion. I was traveling for work yesterday, and
humble brag.
Was flying home from Norfolk, Virginia, but had to go through Charlotte, North Carolina first, and had to spend like an hour and a half in the Charlotte airport. Okay. And I was sitting at my gate, and there was a gym right there, and it was the end of the terminal, so it was like pretty far flung. And when I got there, the gym had like one pretty low-level blue Pokemon in it, so I was like, okay, knocked him out. Mm-hmm. Put in my own Bouffalant. They've got like an army of Bouffalants to protect my gyms.
I got a lot of Bouffalants too for some reason.
They have a ton of hit points and usually pretty high like combat power, so I just park them in gyms. But anyway, I parked a Bouffalant and I like, went on my merry way. Yeah. And like a minute later, I realized that the gym was blue again. And I clicked into it, and there was 3 blue Pokemon in there. So I was like, this will not stand. And I started picking them off one by one, just like throwing everything I had at them. And then I realized that they were healing and that more Pokemon were joining them, and there was 4. And I was like, these fuckers are all around me. I'm like surrounded by this like mob of team blue Pokemon players.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm like fighting them in real time. And then a couple more yellow dudes join me. Like if more than one person is attacking a gym, you can see your partner's Pokemon across from you. like also attacking the Pokemon, and protecting the gym.
Oh wow! So that's
like,
just at an airport in Charlotte.
Yeah, and like another
activity?
yellow player with even better Pokemon than me, like came in and started like mopping up, and then he claimed the gym, and I threw a Bouffalante in there, and then got on my plane, and it was like that was awesome. Like I got up to go to the bathroom, was like eyeballing kids, like looking at phones. And I was like, which one of you little fuckers? Like,
it's got to be a better way of saying
keeps
that.
Kicking out of my. It was so much fun. And that reminds me what you're talking about. These early days of Pokemon Go.
Yeah, and I saw when I was trying to like pull out, some sort of trivia. Apparently in 2018?
2016?
No, in 2018 it had its peak. I think it's implied the peak was 147 million monthly active users. Wow, and that's 2 years after it came out. So I don't know where it's at now, but it's had over 1 billion downloads as well. I guess that means, there's a fair amount of activity wherever you go.
As of June 2020, data shows Pokemon Go has an estimated 80 million players monthly.
I mean, that's still wild.
That's
for this
6 years after 6 years after its release.
Was that 2020 or 2022? Right? No. 4?
When did it come out?
Versus 6? 2016.
That June 2022. So that's
okay. That's
a hot number.
Yeah, all right. On April Fool's Day 2014, I read that Google released a mini game inside of Google Maps where you could, and I remember this as well, but I had like just totally blanked on this connection because Google did ultimately buy Niantic. And I guess in that April Fool's Day in 2014, in Google Maps, there was a mini game where you could catch Pokemon in celebration of the day. But then that same day that they had done that, they posted a listing to be a Pokemon master at Google. So,
fun.
They sort of knew what they were doing. I don't know when they bought. I don't remember when they bought Niantic, but it would be interesting if it was around then as well.
Another quick sidetrack. I love this game, Pokemon Go. By the way, bug catchers. I'm obsessed with it. Like I've just been playing nonstop.
I like it. I have some complaints, but I think I enjoy it a lot more than I have gripes. Yeah,
we'll get to our gripes, but
yeah.
Also,
I think a lot of my gripes are that I'm just like dumb and I can't be bothered to like figure out things that I could probably figure out.
You've turned into a real Luddite lately.
Yeah,
you just don't like tech.
Other than producing a hit Pokemon podcast, sure.
Yeah, and working at a huge tech platform,
tech company. Yeah,
I
don't know a damn thing. Go on.
High on the experience of this game, I went and downloaded the other pretty active Pokemon game, mobile game, Pokemon Masters. And I can't make fucking heads or tails of it.
I haven't tried that.
I just can't understand it.
What's a one-liner about what's even going on there?
What would I say? It's triple battles where it's you and 2 other trainers are fighting 3 other trainers, and they're like trainers you've met and know from the Pokemon games, and
they're AI,
and they're all AI, yeah. And it's kind of this triple battle between. I only played a couple battles, and I was like, I don't get this, I don't understand this, and I'm going to stop playing it. That's maybe that's on our horizon.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I'm not hearing like a super dynamite pitch.
Well, yeah, and maybe that's the. I'm not the marketing guy,
Yeah.
You're the tech guy. I'm not the marketing guy.
Yeah, I'm apparently the lore master and the tech guy.
Yeah.
That's my thing now.
And I'm the Pokemon pro and also not marketing. Let's talk about our guys.
Okay.
We both made guys for the game.
Yeah.
Tell me about your guy.
Well, mine is a character who's definitely been, I think, referenced at some point in this podcast.
Yeah.
A little guy called Josh Man Comp Kid.
Okay.
And I'm sure I have to put...
name.
I'm going to be putting myself back into a couple of different iterations of Josh Fjellstad.
Have fun getting 1 million PS5 invitations.
Oh, no. I used something else on that also.
Okay.
But I've mentioned gamer tags and stuff. I'm not leaving, like there's a gingerbread crumb trail,
Yeah.
Josh Man Comp Kid was my original like gamer tag, but it was also my AIM name. I had a couple of other iterations, namely
He calls it AIM.
Hey, 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 825, which was definitely based on Night at the Roxbury.
Hell yeah.
When they're like, hey, hey, hey.
Yeah.
And Smiley Dude 52. And I don't really remember anymore what the order was, but Joshman Comp Kid was the most iconic one, and that was what my username on like Diablo. Well, Diablo was I Shall Smote You, which I liked, except in retrospect, I would have retconned it to be I Shall Smite You as the correct conjugation. But Joshman Comp Kid was my iconic username on StarCraft Brood War, where I had like 500 wins, like 40 losses. That's where I spent all my time.
Yeah.
And it had little emoticon, equal sign, parentheses, Josh
so
Man,
cool.
and then parentheses, equal sign, Man Comp Kid. And so I'm sure at the time in 2016 when I was creating this, I was like, well, the time when I started playing Pokemon was also when I was Josh Man Comp Kid, which is...
body of a man, computer of a kid.
Yeah. At the time, it was body of a kid, computer of a man. And now it's body of a man. That's what I think that's how I decided to name myself that in 2016. And because it is attached to my one and only personal email account, that's who I am again. So
you're just you.
Yeah, and I will be naming, apparently, what I sort of like decided to name any of the Pokemon that I nickname, which is not most of them at all, is just going to be sort of when I was a kid, how did I operate in terms of like naming things?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing too.
Okay, so who are you?
My guy's called Def Isn't Ditto.
Okay, he's not a Ditto.
No. He's a normal guy. He loves catching Pokemon. He loves
sort of like
battling in gyms.
Steve Human kind of a guy. Drink a beer
totally
with him.
Normal guy, not a Ditto.
Yeah.
And he's dressed head to toe in purple, but it's just because purple's his favorite color.
It's a nice color,
not
man.
because he's a Ditto.
Yeah.
A Ditto who can't quite transform all the way into a human, so gets stuck kind of in his purple color.
Nothing like... Wait, you did watch Detective Pikachu?
I did, yeah.
So nothing like anything in that movie where some character might be a Ditto that's sort of surprising.
No, my character's not a Ditto.
Okay.
I can't stress this enough. Not a
just
Ditto.
likes the color purple.
Purple head to toe.
What's their relationship to
Ditto.
the Pokemon
Has a Ditto shirt on.
Favorite Pokemon's Ditto?
Let's see. Well, so far his favorite Pokemon has been Getaway Sticks, his high-level Lopunny.
Oh, well.
But then...
That's a little bit more... That's relatable.
He was battling someone and saw that they had a shiny Lopunny who has pink tufts of fur.
Oh.
And he looked over at his Lopunny and she looked pretty drabby by comparison. So she's been in the box. Also, he wants to earn some candy for a couple of his other Pokemon that he's excited about. Including, can I say, just really quickly, one of my Tanny Sweeties. Have you seen this fucking Ponyta?
Very
I don't know what it
glorious.
is. Galarian, I guess?
Oh, I have not seen the Galarian. You've seen a Galarian one?
I have one, and I love her.
I haven't seen any Galarian shit. Galarian, whatever.
It's a unicorn, and it's got like beautiful like rainbow hair, and it's fairy
The
type.
My Little Pony.
Yeah. It's so good. It's so cool. That's one of my sweeties. Anyway, what were we talking about?
How your character is not Ditto.
Not a Ditto.
Yeah.
Right. And I have Porygon and Galarian Ponyta by my side pretty often now.
Yeah.
Just earn that sweet candy.
Well, I mean, I have comments about the candy. Where do we want to start?
Candy economy. I don't know, man.
I know.
This
Pokemon
game is like,
candy
it's
in this
like
economy?
menus the game. So it's, I don't know. There's like, do we just want to go through the menus? Well, can I just tell you this? Can I admit something to you that's semi-embarrassing? Have you spent any money on this game yet?
I put in $10 sort of in a panic as soon as I got it, and I ran out of like all of everything, every Pokeball, all the berries. And it was also like, when I kicked this off, it was like the night after we recorded with David, and
Right.
I had already walked for the day and stupidly like didn't boot up the game. I was like, wait, how the fuck am I going to get more free stuff? And then I forgot about, I just have to go to a bunch of Pokestops. So I sort of panicked and I bought $10 of Pokebucks, and I bought some Pokeballs, and I expanded my.
And you're
backpack.
supporting a company you love.
Yeah.
And a game you like.
Yeah.
That's how I justify it every time I spend money on an in-app purchase. I'm always just like, well, I'm supporting this property and these developers. They've earned it. Anyway,
they worked hard. We work hard.
I put in about $30 so far.
Wow.
And it was mostly just to buy cosmetics for Def Not Ditto. Or Def Isn't Ditto.
Yeah, I was going to say the one thing that I actually, at this point, I have not felt any pressure to spend more money other than that I would just love to have more space in my backpack, and I do think it's sort of a scam that you can only ever buy it in increments of 50 slots, and it's like 200 Pokebucks or whatever. That should be more. It should give you more slots, and it should cost less money, and you should have more slots in general. That's a quick gripe.
Yeah.
But in general, I have not felt pressured to spend more money, other than I would prefer to do that rather than like having to take the step of like deleting a bunch of like super potions or whatever.
I had to be deep purple, so I had to spend the money.
Yeah, the thing I would actually spend money on is my outfit, because I just have free outfits.
Did you know that there's a whole Mewtwo outfit? Well, it's not an outfit. It's not like a costume. It's like a look. There's a look that someone has put together that is Mewtwo themed. And a lot of it is purple, which is...
Well, I just want a Mewtwo.
So I'm wearing
How do I get one of those Mewtwo's, like that person who had the green Mewtwo? How do I get that?
Don't know. Very
It's going to be
curious.
some event thing, and I'm never going to get it, and I have to be in Japan or fucking Slovenia or something.
I have a legendary that I got.
What?
And it was through a research mission. Meluete.
The music note? You
Yeah.
got one of those?
Yeah, through a research mission.
Well, what kind of research mission? Well, I want to talk about the research
remember.
mission. Okay, well, let's talk about the construct here.
Okay, let me say one more thing
Okay.
that I've spent money on. A Pokemon Go Plus.
Is that the literal Pokeball? What is that?
No, that was for Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu. It's a little bracelet. And what it does is, instead of using it, you connect it to your account on Pokemon Go, and you connect it to your phone over Bluetooth. And as you're walking around, it will buzz and light up. It lights up, let's see if I can remember. It lights up blue when there's a Pokestop, and you can tap it's one button. You tap the button, and it spins the Pokestop for you and adds all the items to your phone. It blinks yellow when it's a Pokemon you've never encountered before.
Yeah.
And you tap a button, and it randomly throws Pokeballs at it. So it's got like a 1 in 3 catch rate. And then if it's a Pokemon you have already, it'll be green, and you can tap the button to catch it.
Okay, and does it also... That's all that it does? Does it not count like your steps
It counts
toward like your
steps, too.
buddy?
It does, but
Even if the app's not open?
Connects to your phone over Bluetooth, so your phone's already with you anyway.
Okay.
But it just really it makes catching and spinning much easier. I've really accumulated quite a mass of Pokemon beef on my team thanks to this little thing.
Well,
So anyway, that's all. That's what I've spent money.
I've got
on
a
so
trip
far with
next
this
week,
game.
so looks like I'm gonna have to get one of these before I leave.
Yeah, I think it's worth it. There's some
It's for
off-brand
work.
one that I think might be better, but I didn't want to screw with it. I wanted to support the company I love, Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. This is the first time since 2016 where I also have had a phone that's just dying randomly. Like it's batteries being drained all the time.
Yeah, I get through the day with like that little sliver of like 3% left.
Yeah. I haven't experienced that in a long time.
Can I ask you about your gripes about this game
Sure. I have
after this break?
Well done.
You must be able to recognize that like sentence construction by now.
I definitely
Can I ask you this? ...
I
After
definitely
this break.
I can, except you change it. There was a while where that was all you were doing, and then I caught up on the game. But now you switch it up frequently enough that I forget what you're going to be throwing at me. So.
I know.
But I've caught you a few times now.
Machiavellian. Hello, Joshua.
Hello, Tanner.
Did you know that in the Pokemon anime, in Genesect and the Legend Awakened,
Art house film, I think.
art house film, yep. There is a city featured in that film called New Torque City.
New Torque City?
Yeah, and now here's where we get in trouble because, and we really want to clarify this.
Okay.
New York City.
York with a Y, not a T.
You and I will be in the actual real life New York City on September 17th at Caveat. And I think we're going to be playing Pokemon, the trading card game 2 for Game Boy Color.
We are. We're going to try our best.
It's a Japanese exclusive.
We're finally going to do it.
Do play along with us and meet us in New York or streaming online.
Yeah, you can stream it too.
Live.
Not everybody lives in the best city in the world.
Including me, on September 17th.
And the doors are at 6:30 and the show is at 7 p.m. And you can buy tickets at bit.ly/expshare live.
Yep.
That's bit.ly/expshare-live.
It's a long URL. We apologize for the length of the URL, but yes, it is bit.ly/expshare live.
Come join us. It's going to be a blast.
And just again, Josh, this is happening in the real life New York City at Caveat.
York. Yeah.
In the Lower East Side. Not in New Torque City of the Unova region in the anime exclusive Genesect and the Legend Awaken.
Okay, noted. Okay, New York City, real city. Do not go to New Torque
City. We will not be there on September 17th. We'll be in New York City.
Real city.
September 17th, and we'll see you there. Please do come. It's going to be a blast.
Smell you there.
Wow. Josh, tell me some of your gripes about this game, your experience so far. I want to stress so firmly how much I like this game before you get mad at us, bug catchers. But it's not without its flaws.
Light gripes. And keep in mind, we're old-timers who have not played this. So it's very similar to the construct of this whole podcast.
Yeah.
We haven't played it, although I played a lot more than... Well, let's not get into it. But basically, we haven't played since the first iteration, you know? And we're coming back in, and there's been a lot of changes in 6 years, and we just need to get used to it. And we're having a crash course.
We're still kind of... It's like a hot tub, you know? And you've all been in this hot tub for 6 years. And you're loving the feel of the hot water. But we're easing our way in.
Yeah, you were the Froakie getting boiled slowly over time, and then you get to a different place. And we're the Froakie that hopped out, and now we're going back in, and the water's a lot hotter, and there's a lot more stuff going on, and we just don't want to die.
I think it's a good metaphor. I think the metaphor is definitely good.
Yeah, because, you know, the Froakie's the frog and the...
And we haven't strained it to its absolute limits yet.
No. You put me into we were talking about the... tech stuff, so that's the kind of metaphors that we throw around at work all day
in the tech world. Yeah.
My gripes, I have two that I have one that I feel pretty strongly about, and then I have kind of diminishing returns on the other two, where one I think is because I'm like lazy, and then the other one is just like I don't know what the hell is going on. So one of them is a genuine gripe, and then I do want to cover the other two things. First is the Pokeball calculus, aka should I use a regular old Pokeball, a Great Ball, or an Ultra Ball?
Yeah.
Seems much more arbitrary in this than it is in the main games, especially when you have to factor in the berries and how many berries to use, which berries to use.
Have a huge influence.
I have like a whole other thing with that. Like I have a pineapple berry, which if you give that to a Pokemon, it looks like their candies fall off
that's
them,
all
like,
that does.
Like Payday actually. Where the coins fall off.
Pineapple does.
You don't get extra candies, right? I was trying to figure. You do. Okay.
Pineapples.
But do I have to pick them up, or like it doesn't seem like I am?
Pineapps don't help you catch a Pokemon. They just increase the number of candies you get. And you'll see when you on the catch screen, it'll show the number of candies you would have gotten, and then it flashes a little pineapple berry and doubles the number of candies.
Okay, but that's just happening automatically. I don't have to like click it again or something. Okay.
It's the other two, banana berries and whatever the main one is called. Raspberries.
Elegant, yeah.
They increase your chances of catching Pokemon.
Okay.
And of course, like golden raspberries.
I haven't even seen one of those yet.
No. Fucking amateur hour over here.
I'll accept it this time. I'm definitely the amateur. I mean, but I do think that my overall platform on this stands. It's very unclear comparatively. Like,
you texted me about this the other night.
Yeah. Like, all of the curveballs and the like nice or great or excellent throws seem to override basically no matter what the quality of the ball is. So at that point, why would I like, if you're a Pokemon Go master, are you just buying straight up Pokeballs and you're just curveballing and
Do you want me to tell you my method?
Yeah.
Because I've really mastered the curveball and the great throw. So I can pretty consistently hit a curved great throw. And I would say up to level 500, up to like a sort of amber.
Oh, CP. Okay.
On the ring.
Yeah.
I'm pretty comfortable throwing a few. I'll throw down a raspberry and then do a curved great. And I can almost always catch a Pokemon that way.
Pretty nice.
If it's higher than that, if it's like 500 to, I'm going to say 800, I go for a great ball. And if it's anything over like 800, I'll go for the ultra ball.
Okay, that's good to know.
And I'm throwing berries liberally.
Oh, I am too. I'm almost out of raspberries actually.
Got to open more gifts from these generous bug catchers.
Yeah, I will be clearing out a lot of gifts tonight because I had to go and go to a doctor's appointment in the Upper East Side today, and I did a lot of walking. So gifts.
I'm gonna change those numbers 500 to 1,000 for great ball, and 1,000 and up is ultra.
Oh, I have definitely not been operating with that, so that's good to know. Okay, so you're helping me with that gripe. Maybe help me with these other two. Scanning a Pokestop. Have you done that?
I have. It's constantly asking me to do it. Like, it's constantly
one of my research missions is that. And so I have two things, two-pronged, which is that with scanning a Pokestop, do I literally need to stand there and spin around? Because I did, but then the whole circle wasn't full, and I was like, do I keep spinning to check this off? Okay, yes. So I literally have to do that in the middle of Fort Greene Park. Okay.
You have to walk in a big circle around the big
I'm
tower
confident,
of Fort Greene Park.
Am I this confident? Wow.
I've done it a few times. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I think they're doing it for some new feature. You know, maybe the gym will look like a 3D representation of the thing.
That would be sick.
Doesn't it seem like that? It seems like they're trying to get a lot of data to do like AR mapping.
Well, they are independent from Google again, so maybe they don't have a leg to stand on as much, which actually relates directly to my next comment about scanning the Pokestop. If you click on a research mission, so I have one that's like scanning a specific mural.
Yeah.
And I don't know where it is because every time I click on give me directions, it's like, will you reinstall Apple Maps? Because I guess they had the falling out with Google. So
it makes you do it.
I don't want to download Apple Maps again. So is the only way that I can find out where this Pokestop is that I need to scan, I have to get Apple Maps?
You could just Google the name of the place.
Yeah, but it's like a random mural. It's like the murals don't have names. Like there's a garden mural right down here, like where I live, that's not like a named mural. It's just like we have murals everywhere because we have beautiful fucking art in every street in New York City.
Yeah, it's paradise.
Okay, so that's one thing. I'm throwing that out to the bug catchers. Tell me if I have to download Apple Maps because I don't want to. And then my final one is, what the hell is going on with the Pokemon Buddy? Is there any real benefit to this?
Yes, it's a candy collection, I think.
But I made the Magikarp my buddy because I want a Gyarados, and I have a good Magikarp as far as I can tell. I've got like a purified one from Team Rocket Battles that we'll talk about. I guess it's not a 3-star.
Well, then it's trash. Get it off your team.
Okay, well, but my question is, I don't feel like I'm seeing extra candies that are so significant that I care about this.
You get one,
and all the Tamagotchi like maintenance is annoying.
The Tamagotchi maintenance is annoying, although there is the quick feed button. I don't know if you've discovered that.
Yeah, I've been doing that. I discovered it today.
If they're following you, if they're out in the world with you, every kilometer they walk with you, they earn one of their own candy. So, in the example of Stuffle, you want Stuffle following you so that it sits and eats up, like collects a bunch of Stuffle candies that you can then use to evolve your Stuffle.
But does the app, but this is where like, I've been walking around a ton. I mean, I run 3 times a week and then I also take big long walks constantly. So why am I not reining in the candies? Do I need to have the app?
I mean, you are. I just
open?
think like, no, I just think like go look at your candy counts on some of these Pokemon. I bet they're through the roof.
Okay.
Because I just like, I had Low Punny out as a joke, essentially.
Yeah, a joke.
The first 2 weeks I was playing.
It was a joke, just for you.
I raked in so many Baniri candies, like hundreds of Baniri candies.
See, that's not happening to me at all. Maybe I have to check my settings and see if like it's not tracking me when the app's closed or something.
As far as I can tell, that's the only real function.
Okay.
Or maybe they get some kind of stats boost because there's like a tier system, like good buddies and best friends and stuff like that.
Yeah, I got a good buddy. This flopping around Magikarp. All right.
Yeah, I saw him on your little profile.
That's what I got. What are your gripes?
I can't figure out the raids. I've never been able to join a raid with anyone else, and therefore never been able to join a raid that's more than 2 difficulty.
I have also not been in a raid.
Every time I try to join a raid, I go to my friends list and invite 5 people who look online, bug catchers. I'm looking at you, and no one ever joins the room with me.
So is the raid is not proximity based? Because that's why I thought
you can do battle.
Yours.
You can do remote raids. You get remote raid passes every now and then. So you can go and join a friend's raid if you want.
Okay.
So anyway, I keep inviting bug catchers and you, and no one has ever joined a raid with me. And I don't know how to do raids if no one ever joins you.
Yeah, I have not done one either. So
I've done a few like one difficulties, maybe like a couple 2 difficulties, but that's how you get the Sweetmon. Because those raid Pokemon are like 3-star OP.
Well, do we want to... No, wait. Do you have more gripes?
Yes. Here's one gripe. If you're a podcaster and you're sending 1 million gifts to all your listeners, they're going to get a pretty clear picture of the area that you live in.
Yeah,
Pokemon
I did just
Go.
give a couple of giveaways. Yeah, yeah.
I like had to stop scanning in my direct neighborhood because it was like, oh, they're going to like literally see the arts center I live across the street from.
Do I also stick experience share stickers all over the telephone poles around where I live? Sure. But that's harder to figure out.
Wall of evidence.
Well, I also stick them. I always have one. I stick them wherever I go in the city. So you don't really know, except for Pokemon.
Those are my only 2 real gripes. I wish I could figure out the raid thing because it seems awesome. And it seems like you get some like really good Pokemon that way. Like there was some like Moltres event tonight where every gym in my neighborhood had a Moltres in it. And they were like 4-star. And I was like, God, if I could just get a couple bug catchers to join me, we could like take this thing down. To no avail.
Is it canon in the podcast and my Pokemon experience if the first shiny I ever got was in Pokemon Go when I was in Stanford, Connecticut?
I think so, and I think both of us have from the way you're framing this. I think both of us have some pretty unfortunate first shinies, don't we?
Yeah.
What's yours?
Starly. Shiny Starly.
I mean, that's not terrible. Like Starly turns into Staraptor, who's like a pretty good Pokemon.
But it's not a 3-star Starly. So
nor is my shiny.
But what's your shiny? Well,
it was a Bunnelby, but I evolved that thing into a Diggersby.
Oh, but if it's shiny, that means it doesn't have poop all over it, probably.
No, it still looks like shit though.
Yeah.
Looks awful.
A different kind of shit.
I can't quite remember the let me see. He's gray with white everywhere that was his colors are inverted. Everywhere that was brown has become white and everywhere that was yellow has become
I mean,
brown.
That's an improvement.
He looks like Bugs Bunny and mine is called Uggs Bunny.
That's funny. All right, so I guess my first shiny is a Starly technically.
Gross.
I caught it in Connecticut.
How unfortunate.
Look at that.
And then my second shiny was an Onyx, and that's also ugly because it's just like it's Onyx, but it's green.
God, that's hideous. That's truly hideous. That art direction doesn't even make any sense.
Sort of like an olive green.
Why would it be that color?
Like a drab green.
I guess it's like a jungle Onyx.
I don't know. It's ugly. It looks so stupid.
So can we talk about the star system?
Yes. So this is like the tips and tricks part of the podcast because this is something David told us off mic last week. I was asking him what his hot tips were, and he said, "Don't fuck with anything that's not 3 or 4-star." He said, "Literally, like it's garbage. Throw it out. It has to be 3 or 4-star."
But who's giving out the stars, and what do they mean? And
the guy who runs your squad.
Oh, Professor Willow?
No, the like spiky haired blonde guy who runs Team Valor or whatever we are.
Oh,
he'll if you go to a Pokemon screen and you click a praise, he'll come out and be like, "Whoa, rad Pokemon, man!" Like look how high his HP is. This one's 3 stars.
But I don't have to do that, right? Like, won't it?
No, you can just go into the search menu and,
if
search
it's 3 or 4. Okay,
4-star Pokemon.
Great. I'm like, I cannot appraise all of these mons.
So everyone who's not 3 or 4 stars, they go into the candy machine.
Yeah.
They get ground up and turned into candy.
Chop
And then
'em up.
if someone's really tough, like I have a couple of Machamps and a couple of Bouffalants who are like in the 2000s, and they just become gym holders.
Yeah, I got a Machamp like that.
That's the 3 or 4 star thing.
Okay.
I think they're a lot better.
They're just like, they're EV
attack
trained,
and, like, HP,
they got great
yeah.
IVs, whatever,
Exactly.
equivalent in Pokemon Go. Okay.
And then Stardust too. I think this is something else David said. He said, maybe it wasn't him. Someone said to me, like, don't spend your Stardust because you will, and it has happened, like you will inevitably catch a better version of your Pokemon or a more evolved version of your Pokemon that you're like rigorously saving or like, spending Stardust on to make stronger. So you catch a Charmander and you spend a bunch of Stardust to make it bigger and stronger. Maybe you spend a bunch of Charmander candies to make it a Charmeleon, and the next day you catch a Charizard who's 3 stars.
That makes sense to me. I mean, I've only used Stardust so far to purify, like throwback to Pokemon Coliseum.
Yeah.
Purify
So fun.
the Team Rocket Pokemon that I've caught, because that seemed like, I guess I don't know yet if there's a relationship between if you can get a purified Pokemon that also is 3-star, because that feels like that would be top tier. Okay. So it is, to me, that seems worthwhile. That's what I was hoping. To purify a shadow Pokemon.
You get a better chance of getting 3-star Pokemon. I don't have any 4 stars yet. I think 4 stars like perfection.
I don't have any either.
But you get a better chance of getting 3-star Pokemon out of eggs and research missions and like raids. I've caught very few just with throwing Pokeballs at them.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, like, obviously we haven't wrapped our heads around the raid yet, but big improvement is both a normal battle that you can initiate from the comfort of your couch, but then also Team Rocket being in this. And that you can battle
Team
them
Rocket,
they take
they're
over
fun.
Pokestops for those bug catchers who have not been playing this like we haven't. Yeah, Team
It's like
Rocket.
a PvE, right? It's like it's a PvP type battle, but with a bot.
Yeah, and
they're terrible. They never use their shields.
They're not good, but wow, are their outfits great.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
they
Team
look amazing.
Rocket, we haven't seen them like this before, where they're like fully 3D.
All
I
right,
fought
you
a
brought it
leader
up.
right before this. Beautiful.
You brought it up, Josh. Where and when does this game take place?
Oh my god.
What's
What a
the
question
lore?
that is.
Like so many different Pokemon from all around the world, or like every, generation and every timeline and every region.
Yeah, is every generation in this, it seems like, so far? Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all in this now. We started off with just
Team
one
Rocket's
back in the
in
day.
it.
Team Rocket is the
Purified
baddie,
Pokemon are in it.
seemingly. There was
Who's
some
this fucking,
spaceman who dropped in yesterday, and he wait, I actually took a screenshot.
Is it the robot boy?
Maybe he's a
There's
robot?
like a robot who keeps making me do chores.
I think the robot said... No, I had this one. You seen this one? Greetings, Pokemon trainer. You have arrived at a convenient time. I would like you to assist me.
That's the robot boy. Who is that?
That's a robot?
I don't know.
Well,
what is the lore of this game, Joshua?
I was walking around the park and this fucking thing dropped in, and then it didn't actually tell me what I'm supposed to do. It was just like,
she just assigns you
assist
more.
Me.
She just assigns you more research missions, like Professor.
So how do all these? How does Professor
who's this
Willow?
professor?
Who's a hottie?
Willow.
Oh my.
Oh, stone cold. Yeah.
Muchy.
They just keep getting more and more handsome, huh?
Sycamore has got some competition.
They like figured that out. They're like, well, everyone keeps creaming their undies every time we make these Pokemon professors good looking.
This, I guess if I'm constructing, I guess we could look into it, but I like trying to figure it out as we keep playing, as we always do. But something I could pitch to you right now would be in the core series games, we know that Africa, Russia, Guyana.
It takes place in our world.
Exists.
Somehow.
So we know that there are like real world continents and countries in the Pokemon universe. So is this somehow
we're on Poke
other
Earth.
than the people who played in places like New York / Unova or Galar / the UK and Kalo / France, and all of the Japanese islands.
They haven't done Connecticut yet.
All of those other ones, everybody else who's out is just like, we're in the canon, but we're just dealing with like the professors who are like, they're not qualified enough.
Aren't they?
To, like,
don't they take place in wildly different timelines?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out something.
I don't get it.
How would you explain
at least like
all the real world locations in the canon?
At least Pokemon Trading Card Game, the game for Game Boy Color, like had the decency of being like, it takes place on this secluded island called
Trading Card Game
Island.
Yeah. I
it's
am
totally
curious.
It's like the Lost Island. It's totally divorced from reality.
I guess we'll find out as we play, but I've been trying not to think about the lore, even as lore master, too much.
Do you want to get into some of our hit segments before we do level check?
Yeah.
This is a new segment, Josh. We're being exposed to a lot of new Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon we may not have ever considered, but we get like a high-powered Pokemon and we keep it on our team because like they're going to do some work. So this segment is called A Reluctant Respect Day. Okay. It's a reluctant respect day because it's Pokemon that we otherwise do not like for some reason or another that have proved themselves to actually be good in this game.
Oh, sure. Oh, I could think of something off the cuff for this, yeah.
My nominee is my Durant. Yeah. It's weird to call him Durant. Like, I get it, he's a durable ant, but it's also just like probably the world's most famous basketball player right now.
Oh.
Is named Kevin Durant.
Yeah, that's what
it just seems. I feel like I'm like
big steel ant. Yeah.
I feel like I'm 9 and have named my Pokemon after like my favorite basketball player.
That is, that's what I did when I was 9 too, which we'll find out shortly.
Durant hits so fucking hard, and he's got 1,000,000 hit points because he's made out of steel, and his charge power is one of his charge powers. You can change their charge powers. I don't know if you knew that.
I did.
One of his charge powers is Mega Horn, which charges up really quickly.
Mega
so you can burn. You put them in the first slot and you throw them out and you burn through their shields really quickly, and then you bring out your actual Pokemon. So, Durant, you're my reluctant respect day, and I doff my cap to thee.
I like this segment. I have been running a pincer quite a bit.
Yuck.
Yeah, which I would never do normally. But it's kind of similar where I happen to get a 3-star pincer and its vice grip charges up pretty quickly and it's just a clean hit. It's like a normal clean hit.
What is it's
nothing wrong
type?
with that? Yeah. Vice
That's
grip
the nice part about Megahorn is I think people see a Durant and they don't think it'll have a bug type move. Right. But Megahorn is a bug type move. So they won't like switch out something like a psychic type, you know?
Yeah.
But then they get hit with Megahorn and they're like, well, fuck.
I've sort of always liked Durant. I think the concept is sort of fun, but I like that you're redeeming it.
Yeah. Well, I guess I didn't ever have strong opinions about Durant. It was just sort of a throwaway Pokemon for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
It feels a little lazy. It's just like, here's an ant, it's made out of metal.
Right, and why doesn't it have an evolution that's the queen? I mean, that seems pretty fucking obvious.
Like a flying ant.
That would also be cool. I mean, termite. There's plenty of options.
Yeah.
Well, you did a sweetie. Can I do a sweetie?
Oh, I did do a sweetie.
At least one. You did the...
I have another. Do you want to do
Galarian
one too?
Ponyta. I'm going to do a riff on... I'm not doing Joshy's sweetie for this interstitial.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing Bobby's sweetie.
Okay, Bobby's been watching you over your shoulder.
As soon as I booted this back up, he was like, oh, okay, you're playing Pokemon Go again? Well, I'm playing Pokemon Go again.
Perfect.
So Bobby is also playing. I'll have him add you. I'm not going to reveal his name on here.
No, I wouldn't.
I like the gift advantage that I get. That's why.
Yeah.
But it's been fun watching him react to catching the Pokemon and the ones that he hates and that he thinks are sweet. And I think it could be a nice precursor if we do end up doing the riff on the wedlock for Oras.
No, so we're just going to claim it. Let's not say riff. Whatever wedlock was dumb, and now it's this.
The existing wedlock, now I'm getting up on a soapbox. The existing wedlock, and I know that you can play it where they're same-sex couplings, but it is two
inherently heteronormative
smacks of gender where the original concept is that all of the Pokemon can only battle when it's like a male and a female, and like of course you can do it male, female.
Wow, it's 2020, people. Jesus Christ.
We're not.
Who are you, J.K. Rowling?
New wedlock is you have to be married, actually, whoever you're married to, you know?
Yeah.
And that is a wedlock, and that's what it seems like that's what we're leaning for Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. So
yep.
Little preview will be what I think Bobby's sweetie of the week is, and it was Froakie this week.
Yeah, Froakie,
he was freaking out about Froakie today.
Pretty cute little frog. I think also
he said that specifically. He's like, I love that it's a quote little. I'm quoting him. I love that it's a little frog, and he loved the little cross-eyed situation and the bubbles that are floating around it and the whole attitude.
These like modern sprites look pretty dang good.
Everyone looks pretty good.
Yeah,
I'll say that. But yeah, so we'll be doing Bobby's sweetie for this interstitial.
Oh, Josh, I saw the cutest little Pokemon I've ever seen in my life.
Who was it?
Rockruff.
Oh, of course. But you haven't seen Rockruff.
I've never seen it before. Is it Galarian or is it a Alolan?
I think it's Galar. Yeah. I love Rockruff.
What a dang little cutie. And then I don't know anything about Rockruff. I don't know anything about its evolutions, but I can see the little silhouettes of its evolutions on his Pokemon Go profile.
It's Sun and Moon, man. I was wrong.
And it looks like he does not maintain his cute beauty for very long.
No.
It evolves into the silhouette of what it evolves into looks pretty dumb. Like maybe like lanky werewolves.
I mean, I think it still looks cool, but it's not.
Okay, I don't know. I've only ever seen the silhouette. So
no, Rockruff is a sweetie, but I wouldn't necessarily say that about the evolution.
And then, Josh, I think before we get to level check, there's one more thing I have to do.
Yeah, where is it?
And it's barf all over the place because it's my You Make Me Barf Pokemon. You know him. You love him.
I don't.
Possibly the ugliest Pokemon I've ever witnessed. The opposite of a masterpiece. Oranguru.
Oranguru, yeah.
Absolutely hideous. What are they doing?
Yeah.
It's so many, there's so many things wrong with it. A1, it's just too literal. It's like it's just an orangutan. And it's like, okay, fine. But why does it have like what was that Mighty Boosh sketch?
What?
Like old Greg?
Yeah, old Greg.
It's got like brown seaweed all over it and like it's holding a fan or something.
Yeah, it is confusing to me that it is basically just a straightforward orangutan, except that for some reason it's got like a corrupted leaf that it fans itself with, and then it's got like...
It's wearing one too. It's got a little diamond in its head. I just don't get... I think it's such a bad looking Pokemon, and it's also like such a bad concept of a Pokemon.
It's lazy. I think it's just lazy.
Ugh.
Who was asking
terrible
for this?
I just think it's maybe the worst one I've ever seen.
Like Primeape, dumb name, but at least it doesn't actually look like a Primeape.
I would kiss a Gloom on the mouth
Primate
before I ran an Oranguru on my team.
And it's barely...
I do have one though, and it is 3 stars. Speaking of Joshua, level check. Or should we do rank check first?
I know we got both. They're both kind of...
We're battle boys now. Let's
similar.
do rank check real quick. We're battle boys now. We do battling, and we'll battle you. We'll battle the hell out of you.
Oh, yeah, and opposite of a gripe, something I thought was great about this, although I only did discover this on Sunday night, and it is Wednesday now, that you could randomly just battle people without actually having to be walking around, and it has a matchmaking system. Great improvement.
Level 18, Def isn't Ditto. Level 18, 78 wins, 175 battles. We're talking about a ratio of 78 to 10.
Less than 50% win rate.
Oh, yeah. Some of these battles are pretty tough. I was telling you before we got on, I'm really streaky. I'll hit the kind of level or the area in my level where I have a great team and they're all have high CP and I can like win 6 in a row. And then everyone else will sort of like slowly level up above me and I'll suddenly lose 10 in a row. And then if you're on the lower ranks, which you are, and I won't reveal your score now, but
shit.
If you do really poorly in the lower ranks, there's this strata of Pokemon Go player that are like bottom feeders, who I think they do it just to collect Stardust, because you get Stardust for battling even if you lose all 5.
Right.
So that what they'll do is or maybe for training, because what they'll do is they'll throw in a bunch of low-level Pokemon and then won't fight. So you just go in and you like do like one hit on 3 Pokemon in a row, and you like win the match, and you get the perks and the prizes. So that's like if you're really struggling, you end up down there. And I ended up down there a few times in that murk, but now I'm like ascendant.
Okay,
doing well.
I'm thinking about it now because I do have that conspiracy theory about a lot of these like MOBAs where I mentioned Heroes of the Storm last week, where it's like you do too well, then they just start throwing like crazy people at you, and then you get crushed, and then you have to like go through the muck.
That's exactly what I'm experiencing.
I think that is what's going on here, yeah.
Yeah.
Although I haven't made it out of the muck. I think I'm probably at the top of the muck. I'm getting out of the muck.
Yeah.
I'm rank 5. I have 10 wins, 20 battles, 50% win rate.
If you can maintain it, man, I'm going to be very proud of you. It gets tough.
Yeah, I also like, which we'll get into in a moment, I don't have any super impressive, I think, or exotic Mon, really. And so far, I can only play in the leagues that are 1500 CP or less. So I haven't really seen how mean those streets can get.
I've ventured out a couple times to the 2500 or less, but I've mostly been sticking to the 1500 or less, which will be reflected in my levels.
Should we check them?
Yeah.
Lay it on me, String Bean.
Def Isn't Ditto is level 27. Keep in mind, 2 weeks ago today, he was level 0.
That's so nuts to me.
All of my Pokemon that I'm going to list here are 3-star. Everyone else is chaff. All my other Pokemon are chaff. They're meant for gyms and candies. They go into the gym machine and the candy machine. So we're talking about and I've tried my best not to level them over 1500 so that I can keep them eligible for the Pokemon League where I'm most comfortable. Stupid Weasel, Gumshoes, with a combat power of 1846, 3 stars. I don't like it.
Yeah,
There's just
Pokemon.
I was like in an area where there was a lot of whatever the unevolved version is, and I caught a 3-star one of those and then fed it some candies, and it turned into a Gumshoes. And I don't like him. I don't think he's a good Pokemon. I mostly just put him in gyms.
Okay, fine.
Notesack, Meliote.
Good.
CP of 1740, 3 stars. Perp Slurp, Starmie, CP of 1487, 3 stars. I got this one during the great like Star U flood.
What was that?
Yesterday or 2 days ago.
Because the Starly thing where I got the shiny Starly was a community
we joined a
event.
community day, which I didn't have time to talk about, but we're going to talk about this game again next week. But we're actually going to talk about like our gameplay. So
yeah, we had to lay the foundation, but the Staryu thing was inexplicable to me. I guess it was probably
there was just a bunch of Staryus everywhere, and I caught all of them, and I found a 3-star one, and then fed it all the candies, and now it's Perp Slurp, my Starmie, a CP of 1487, 3 stars, of course.
Pretty good.
Howitzer, Staraptor, caught during the great. What was
Starly?
Starly.
Starly-ips.
CP of 1483, 3 stars. Bugnuts, Durant, CP of 1412, 3 stars. And then God's Mistake, my Magneton, a CP of 1390, 3 stars.
Okay.
Those
looking
are my
pretty
my
good.
most impressive 3-star Pokemon.
Yeah.
And I think I'm up to about 100 3-star Pokemon in total.
What? I've got 30.
Well, I'm much better at this game than you.
I don't think there's any chance I'm going to be able to overcome that over the course of this interstitial, at least, if not the final check-in. In
Josh
several
Man Comp
weeks,
Kid, what are your levels?
Josh Man Comp Kid. So I have Claire, who is an original Pokemon from when I first played in 2016.
Oh, perfect.
It's not 3 stars, but it is a CP 2129. It's a Flareon.
Okay.
Kind of useful. And that one,
in my opinion, Flareon is the worst of the Eevee evolutions. How about that?
I agree with that.
Okay.
I have a Jolteon, Sparky. That's an original one as well, but I just haven't really gotten any use out of it.
Yeah.
I have Diablo, Magmar, CP 1263. That is
Barf.
3 stars.
Yeah, but it's a Magmar.
Well, how about this barf? Sir Bug, Pinsir.
We have to do some trading when we're done here, because I have to evolve my Sir Gonad. I have a Pokemon named Sir Gonad, who's that little kissy Pokemon who's in a helmet. Shelmet.
Oh, Shelmet. Yeah, it's straightforward, yeah. Sir Bug is a Pinsir, CP 1472, and 3 stars.
Yep.
Shoahest, which is Norwegian for seahorse, because a lot of the ways that I would name Pokemon growing up was like a Norwegian translation or Gaelic translation of my like main heritage of like whatever the thing was. So Seadra,
very proud boys of you.
Oh, well, when you put it that way, now it's bad. Now I'm canceled. I didn't walk into this thinking I would get canceled.
Yeah. Well, like 9-year-old Josh was definitely canceled.
9-year-old Josh would have gotten canceled way, way before that. So CP 1214, 3-star Seadra. Great. Love that thing. Green Eggs is a Lowland Executor.
These things drive me wild. They're hilarious.
It's
seeing
so
these, like,
fun to see it
big
battle.
doofy idiots like on the map or in a battle. You can't even like you never even see their head.
Big head down.
Yeah.
I always use that in like the Flareon in Team Rocket battles.
I think it's so funny.
It's not 3 stars.
What a funny Pokemon. What a good job, Pokemon Company.
Yeah. A Lowland Executor is truly inspired, that design.
I love it.
And seeing it just randomly show up on the map, and that was like when I was hanging out at my house, I was like, what the hell? Why is this here?
They look so funny on the map. Like, people put them in gyms all the time, and just seeing, I think because it's funny, just seeing their dumb like stick head sticking up out of the gym.
Yeah, and it always like cuts off the whole head. It's great. It is a CP 1720, although not 3 stars, unfortunately. And then I got Forearms, because I am pretty sure I named a Machamp that back in the day when I was a kid, because it's like a riff on Four Eyes. Canceled.
Funny.
Forearms is a Machamp, CP 1694. Not purified, but not 3-star.
You're going to have to work on your star ratings, Josh, if you want to compete.
Yeah.
If you want to compete on
there's a lot
Def
of
Not
RNG,
Ditto's
though, isn't
level.
there? Connecticut
Well,
seems like it has higher ranking Mon.
It's this watch, man. It's this Pokemon
Got a
Go Plus.
state with the highest GDP per capita. Interesting that you would have all these fancy Mon
High-ranking
running around.
Pokemon.
Seems
Oh,
a little corrupt, but take that up with Chris Murphy.
Yeah, they know how to treat us up here. It's one of the many perks of living in Connecticut. You get the good Pokemon. And by good Pokemon, I mean like my neighborhood is literally just filled with whatever the bird, it's a bird I'm not familiar with, that it turns into a Pokemon called Toucanon.
Oh, that's fun. I don't remember what the lower. I like Toucanon.
That Pokemon is all over my neighborhood, as is the lily pad one that turns into Ludicolo eventually.
Well, Lopad.
Lopad, yeah.
I actually
They're
have a fair
everywhere
amount of
in my
those, but
neighborhood.
Trumbeak is what you got.
Trumbeak, yeah. So yeah. They're all
and
over the
Picky
place.
Peck. You got Picky Pecks?
Hundreds of thousands of Picky Pecks
That's funny.
have gone into the candy grinder.
I really like Toucanon. I don't have a bunch of
I don't
Pecks.
think it has very good stats. This is the problem. But
I have a lot of Yanmas.
I only have a couple. I would like more because I think
Bidoofs,
whatever Yanma turns into
unfortunately.
looks cool.
Yeah, I want a Yanmega. I've been catching all of the Yanmas because I am trying to grind them up and get a Yanmega, but I don't have a 3-star. But we'll see
keep
what
working at it.
happens next week.
We're going to keep playing. We're going to come back in a week and tell you how we've advanced and kind of give you a play-by-play of our week. And then, Joshua, I think next time we'll also battle because we can do that live.
And we'll be doing it from the road because I'm going to be getting some exotic Chicago Mon next week.
We should say this. Next week's going to be a little weird because it's going to be Frontlines journalism.
Yeah.
Because I think you and I are both going to go out and play Pokemon Go and just record on our phones.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do, right?
Yeah.
Catch me after the Cubs game after I've had a couple of beers. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that's going to be a blast. Audio quality might be a little odd next week, but trust us, it's going to be a blast. We're just going to go out and play Pokemon Go and record a podcast while we do it.
Yeah.
And we're going to battle in the game.
We'll battle. We'll have to set some standards, but...
Joshua, thank you for joining me. Bugcatchers, thank you for joining us. This has been Experience Shared's Pokemon Podcast starring me, or Tanguru. Blah. Blah. And my co-host, Wimposh. Please do rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts, and do follow the show everywhere that you follow podcasts, and do follow us at EXPSharePod on Twitter and Instagram.
And if that's not enough, you can get even more over at the subreddit, reddit.com/r/bugcatchers. And as always, when I say that, the episode after the Chasing Waterfalls one, that reminds me that we will have to announce who the trainer of the season winner was, and we will have to battle that person. So look forward to that in the coming weeks as well. Yep. And you can gear up for being the next one by joining that subreddit. And we do that during the main seasons, which will be Oras, which we will start in 2 weeks from this episode. So,
yep, and we'll figure out the rules to the
Wedlock.
the nouveau wedlock.
Yeah. And you can also buy some merch at expsharemerch.com or at the website expsharepod.com.
And please do add us on Pokemon Go if you want to play with us. I would love to do some fucking raids with some of you sometime. We will pin the...
just tell us how to do it.
We'll pin the tweet with our trainer IDs.
And it is also on the Instagram.
Or Twitter.
But we did the mea culpa. We're not going to accept gifts unless we can give them back, so we're not ignoring you.
Right.
We just have a lot of friends. Humble brag.
Humble brag, yeah. Well, and be friends with one another. That's the other nice part, is on that pinned tweet, all the Bugcatchers started dropping their friend codes in, or their trainer IDs in. So go and add the other Bugcatchers and be friends with one another.
That's fun.
Joshua, that's it for me.
That's it.
That's it for our show. See you next week with more Pokemon Go. And then we're on to Oros, so get your eShop. Oh, someone also, a Bugcatcher gave us a helpful tip that the eShop is shutting down.
Yeah. I
so
think in August.
If you want Oros, go pick it up right now, essentially.
Or it's like the last chance. I think they're shutting it down in 2023, and the last chance you can put money into it is potentially August. So if you want to keep buying anything digitally, you need to put the money in now. I'm just going back to, I'm just buying carts. But if you
can't find one,
do
it's
it now.
easier just to get them on the eShop. That's it, Joshua. Goodbye.
Smell you later.